Owen. Owen.
We have got a lateral raise next, so we have got 2 higher volume sets here.
Owen.
That was actually good. I'm happy with that. I'm just genetically shocked. Hello guys, I hope you all are well. Welcome back to the YouTube. I am going to be taking you guys through a push session today, but also giving you my tips on how to prep as well. We went through the mistakes that are made in a contest prep in the last video, but today we are going to be going through some of the things that I actually recommend that you do when you are in prep, but also prior to prep as well, because even though there's 100 ways to skin a cat, as they say, there is ways that is going to make your prep more efficient, but also allow you to manage the tissue that you've worked so hard for in your improvement season as well. So we're going to be going through that today. We have got new hair, which is amazing. Not ideal in this heat, however, but we are going to be traveling back to the UK very soon because my sister is having her baby shower, which is going to be so amazing. I have been quite sad that I've not been able to be with her throughout her pregnancy, but I'm really excited to see her. And then we've got a couple of client shows, and then it's show season, baby. So we have got really long hair, but it's actually really good quality. So I am very happy with that. So yeah, please remember to like and subscribe, guys. Let's get into the workout. This is actually a new session today as well, because our training program has changed ever so slightly. So we've added in a little bit more legs, but we've also taken out a little bit of arms because these bad boys do not need to grow anymore. I don't even know why they're so big, because I don't train triceps and I do 2 sets of biceps per week. So I think I'm just genetically shocked. Enjoy, guys. Okay, this is my 7th tripod since coming to Dubai. And look at this. What on earth is this? It is so thick. And the top of it, like that, like a normal tripod is probably maybe like that size. It's an absolute weapon. So, there's no chance of me losing. What?
It's actually for camera.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, well. Well, let's see how long this one lasts, because I won't be misplacing it, that's for sure. Oh. So, in regards to the amount of time that you need for prep, this is going to vary massively from person to person. And what I've found is the longer of an improvement season you've had, you will need most likely a priming for prep phase prior to you actually going into a contest prep, because it's all about the amount of fat that you've actually got to lose to then calculate that to see how much time that you would need to get lean, because you do not want to be chasing your tail at the end of a prep. You also do not want to lose tissue at the end of a prep as well. So realistically, we don't really want to be losing any like 1 pound to 1.5 pounds per week, or 1% of your body weight per week during a contest prep. At the start of a prep, you've got a lot more body fat. So the chances of you losing muscle is going to be lower. So your energy is higher. Therefore, realistically, you can aim to lose a little bit more fat in the first half of the prep than the second. So when it comes to that, having a priming for prep phase, then going into a maintenance phase is a good idea prior to actually transitioning into your prep. This is actually a really good tip. If you are using a machine that causes your elbows to actually come past your chest, when you are lifting a heavy load, the last thing that we want to do is injure ourselves. So if you get something that is you're going to put as a block up, this is going to help you or assist you for your first rep, especially if you don't have a training partner as well. These little bad boys. What's it called again? Do you remember? Do you know? A thing, yeah. Clip.
A clip, yeah.
A clip.
Forward. Forward. Forward.
I actually think the first video that I did for you guys in Dubai was in here, and I did push, and I think I only managed 4 reps at that weight. I think I actually did 20 kilos aside for like 6. So progressive overload, baby. That is one thing that I do actually want to say though. When you're in a contest prep, especially my logbook junkies, it can be really easy to get annoyed or frustrated at not increasing the load or increasing the reps when you're in a prep. And when it comes to training, especially in prep, it's not going to be there every single session, but what needs to be there is your intensity. So leave your problems, leave your tiredness, leave your hunger at the door, because that is literally serving you no purpose when you're actually in the gym. And also leave Instagram at the door as well. I seen an article on Instagram the other day, and it said that people that scroll on Instagram 30 minutes prior to going into the gym are 30% less focused than those not. So that is definitely something to think about as well. Nope, that was good. That was actually good. I'm happy with that. I am happy with that. Strength has been really good. This is another thing. So the reason why my strength has been so good this prep is because I have not ran myself into the ground. I've gave myself an adequate amount of time to prep. I'm not stressed in regards to show dates or worrying about if I'm going to be in condition or not. But 3, allocating deloads and allocating periods of time where I actually pull back from a training perspective, because deloads are extremely underestimated in regards to how valuable they are in a contest prep. When it comes to prep, it is a balancing act between managing fatigue and trying to get fat off. And when it comes to our training performance, that is what is actually going to allow us to maintain tissue. So no, you can't like auto-regulate deloads, in my opinion, because deloads is something that they vary from each individual based on how hard you train. If you train with true intent, you are going to have to take deloads more frequently. This is why I analyze all my clients' training, and I'll be able to tell in regards to their biofeedback, but also in regards to the intensity of their training sessions when I'll actually add in deloads, because it could be anywhere between 6 weeks or 12 weeks that you need to take a deload. And another thing as well is, if you are deloading, this is when you should actually give yourself a little bit of a diet break as well. So having a period of a couple of days where you increase your food to maintenance, or even just like slightly higher than where you're at, this is going to allow you to drop cortisol. It is going to allow you to drop inflammation and drop stress from dieting, which again is going to help with training performance, and it is going to allow you to push for a longer duration of time without accumulating fatigue.
That's
I was okay with it.
That was good? Okay.
Well, what's that? I don't know if it's because I'm now a lot smaller. I'm maybe actually too small for the machine. I've not actually done that machine in a couple of weeks, but it's been added back in. It just feels a little bit off in regards to the mechanics of it. So I'm actually, after watching that back as well, I agree. The handles are just a little bit right.
Owen.
That was better. Here we go. Okay. Okay. We have got a lateral raise next, so we have got 2 higher volume sets here. Standing lateral raises. Now, the key with this is to keep your body as still as possible and to keep your midsection braced, because a common mistake that people make with lateral raises is they use too much force coming from the back. So yes, it might be good for that little ego Patricia of yours, but it's not going to help with the delts. So in my opinion, dropping down the load and just keeping all the tension on those bad boys is the most important thing. Do not underestimate the power of steps in a contest prep. I haven't done any cardio at all this whole prep. I miss it, yes, because I like pushing hard, but when it comes to managing recovery, when it comes to a prep, all your energy and all of your focus needs to actually be in the training session. Everything else, that is when you rest, and that is when you can actually just use steps for your expenditure as opposed to doing lots of cardio. Cardio is fine. As I say, there are so much ways to skin a cat in a contest prep, but you don't want to be doing so much cardio, especially as a female. Wellness, for example, and hammering your legs, because this will impact your session that day, but also the following day as well. So steps are king, in my opinion. So yeah, that is definitely something to think about. Okay, we've got some rear delt next. We have got 2 sets here, 2 sets 15 to 20, and then we have got some abs to finish because I don't currently have any tricep exercises or anything, so that is fine. Now, another mistake, or should I say lesson, that people learn when they're in a contest prep is you have to embrace the hunger. And hunger, if you've never experienced true hunger before, can be quite hard and difficult to manage. But a mistake that people make is actually volumizing veg too much. And this is something that I used to do as well. With my savory meals, I used to have one of those big mixing bowls, and I would fill it of lettuce with loads, like probably like half a bag of broccoli. Yes, this is going to fill you up, but it's only going to be temporary. It's only going to be for a short period of time. And the digestive issues that actually come along with this are not worth it, guys. Like, if your coach has got you on a set amount of calories, yes, okay, veg is low in calories, but don't try and over-consume it just to try and mask that hunger. Nobody likes the hunger side of things, but the more times you go through this process, the easier it is. So if you learn that like at the very beginning or in your first prep, it's going to be a lot easier the next times that you do go into it, because mindset is everything. If you're constantly thinking about food and your next meal, you're obviously going to be making it a lot worse for yourself and actually self-sabotaging yourself in the process. So just try and enjoy it, embrace it. We're lucky that we are lucky that we get to eat every couple of hours, which is good. One mistake that people make when doing a rear delt fly is they overextend back. So you obviously want to keep your chest on the pad here, but we do not want our arms to be flying all the way back here. We want, because then you end up actually working your traps as well as your rhomboids. We want to isolate the rear delt here. Now the rear delt is just like it's a tiny little baby part of the delt, but when it comes to that, we want our arms to be coming back essentially in line. This is the shortened range, whereas here is the lengthened range of the rear delt. So we want to be able to get a full stretch there so we can get the rear delt in as lengthened of a position as possible, but we don't need to overswing it all the way back. One thing that comes into consideration when deploying PEDs into a prep is determined by your blood work. I think when it comes to thyroid support, so utilizing T3 and T4 in a contest prep, it is very important that you get blood work done prior to actually incorporating these in. Now, we actually want to deploy thyroid support prior to your blood work coming back and being completely off, because when you're in a deficit, it is inevitable that your thyroid is actually going to downregulate, but it is going to be very person dependent on your own TSH, your own free thyroxine, and your own T4 levels. Not everybody needs to deploy T4, but T3 is your active thyroid. T4 is your inactive thyroid. And this is something that is very misunderstood when it actually comes to deploying thyroid. It is definitely about making sure that you've got the right thyroid medication for you as well. And when it comes to clenbuterol as well, it is again really important to add in clenbuterol at the right time, because when you are just starting prep, do you need clenbuterol in place? In my opinion, no, because you're already going to be utilising food and expenditure, and if you're just coming out of an improvement season, your body is going to be very responsive to that. We would look to add in clenbuterol around mid-prep. However, the dosage again is going to be dependent on you, because your recovery and your sleep is the biggest component in regards to you in a contest prep. We need to make sure that we're keeping sleep in a good place and making sure that we're managing recovery as best as we can. And when we start to go the upwards of 80 micrograms of clen per day, clen has got like a 30-hour half-life, which means that if you take clen on a Monday, it is still going to be in your system on the Tuesday, and most likely on Tuesday night as well. So that is actually going to massively impact your sleep. So making sure that you've got a dosage that is right for you, and that you're looking at your biofeedback, looking at your recovery and managing that the best you possibly can is the most important thing. And then one more. And then also yohimbine. This is something that I used to use, but I don't use it at all anymore, because in my opinion, the effects that come negatively with yohimbine, it is not worth it in terms of the amount of extracellular water that you hold, the anxiety that comes along with it as well. I would much prefer to actually use clen. Now, for natural athletes, this is when we would actually deploy yohimbine in place, because we don't have an arsenal of tools to play with. So utilising yohimbine is actually quite beneficial, because it will obviously help increase your heart rate, and it will help with those stubborn fat cells, especially in the glutes and in the hips for females. Final exercise of today, we have got a cable crunch. So yeah, we are going to be doing 2 sets here. We are going to be focusing on actually lengthening our abs as much as we possibly can and rolling. This is very attractive, but we are going to be rolling our back forward and crunching those babies. And we are finito. If you guys have any questions, please do not hesitate to send me a message, because my DMs are always open, but I am bringing out, I'm actually filming it tomorrow, a full PED podcast, so I am going to be posting that on YouTube as well. But thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.